Hi there, this is the Heir of Carthage bringing you a Rome Total War online commentary battle. And I am coming to you from the Macedonian Ruins map. As you can see, I'm playing as the Carthaginians again. Man, I love these guys. And right there you just saw an unfortunate disaster. Carthaginians don't deserve that type of death. Later on my men will come back to mourn these charred corpses and give them a proper burial, I suppose. Either that, or if they're out of food, they might just eat them since they've already been cooked. And here more of my men are being shot. So what are all these flaming missiles, you might wonder? Why, that's my enemy. Let me go introduce you to my opponent. My opponent's playing as the Julii Romans, and as you can see, this battle allowed artillery, and also elephants, but I didn't bring elephants. That's why my opponent brought so much artillery, but I'll explain that in a moment. He has, it looks like, there's one, let's see how many urban cohorts he has. I don't think all of these are urbans. By golly, they are all urbans. That means my opponent broke the rules. Oh well, my only rule was max 6 of the same unit type. He brought 8 urbans, but that's okay. I don't really care. And other than that, he has a lot of archers and archer auxilia all packed into this little ball. And he had some cavalry at the beginning of the game, which he snuck into these woods and hid, thinking maybe I didn't notice, but I did. So anyway, I'm going to run my forces up here. You'll notice all of his forces are in this nice little compact ball, and if you remember in one of my other videos, I said, oh, how I wish I could catch the Romans in Testudo and shoot them to pieces with spears or trample them under the feet of my horses. And now is my opportunity. So I'm going to move my slingers in and start pouring down missile fire to try and keep his units in Testudo. So here they are. Look at these Romans, with their false sense of security under their shields and fancy armor, thinking that nothing can harm them. They will soon find out they are wrong. They should have used Testudo for what it was meant for, which was sieging cities. So in any case, I'm going to come in, and because his missile troops are so bunched up, I'm going to really lay it on thick with my slingers. Let's watch. Sometimes close-ups are fun. I love the sound the rocks make when they go bouncing off the armor. So his onagers are trying to fire at me as much as possible. I'll get you a view here. Because they need to try and deal as much damage as they can before I get too close. That's how onagers work. But one thing that I have going for me with flaming onagers is that they're not very accurate. And you'll notice that I am being about as patient as I can be. If I rushed in here without making some type of strategy, his infantry is quality enough that I could be defeated. So what I'm doing is I'm coming in and letting him feel comfortable. I move closer, slowly, letting him think it's okay. I'll have time to come out of Testudo before he gets closer. It's just like the frog into the boiling pot of water, if you've ever heard that analogy. A frog put into a boiling pot of water would jump out immediately, but if you put him in and slowly up the heat, eventually he'll be cooked. And that's my strategy here. So I'm going to remain patient with my infantry for a while, and now I'm going to slowly move them up a little, and I see that he's still not reacting. And when I see that he's not reacting, I'm going to start moving forward quickly, as you can see my men. And I'm like, yes, 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 yes. I finally get to chew up a Testudo with phalanx. I've been waiting for this moment. So I move my men up, put them into phalanx, I take men around to surround them, and I bring up my other pointy infantry over here to protect against his cavalry. So my sacred band now are going to go in and live the Carthaginian dream. And that dream is to massacre Romans in a compact formation with their spears. Now they do come out at the very last second, but they are already so bunched up that it's going to fulfill my dream. So here they are, happy as clams, doing what they've dreamed of their entire life from the moment they were old enough to understand the concept of war. Look at them. Like a kid in a candy store. But here I accidentally charged my cavalry through my own men in a nice little blunder. Thought you might enjoy that. In any case, his infantry is surrounded and coming in one by one and continuing to be surrounded. His cavalry hasn't moved out of the forest, which was a bad move. So since he's not moving his cavalry, mine's going to get set up on this nice hill advantage to come down and do a crushing blow into his infantry. And now these horsemen are also getting twitchy and excited at the opportunity to trample Romans. They just can't wait. And they won't have to wait long, because it's coming. So in any case, you can see my infantry's already making a mess of his. And to make things better, it's about to get better. I say to make things better, oh, it's about to get better. Here they come. My cavalry comes charging down the hill into these urbans, and as tough as urbans are, they are not going to be able to withstand 4 units of Sacred Band cavalry charging from that height advantage. So I quickly break them and slam into the rear of this mass of infantry. So now the death and destruction can really take hold. And as the Romans break to flee, they will be slaughtered on every hand. There is no safe direction. So he brought his cavalry out of the woods, finally, his Praetorian cavalry, but guess who was waiting on them? Pointy infantry, who specialize at fighting cavalry. And now they get to do what they were waiting to do. And even though they're surrounded and dying, they are proud to have served Carthage. So now my cavalry is swinging around, cleaning up his forces, and his cavalry is about to be surrounded and massacred. Or actually, I think they get away for a moment before they get their final fate. Yes, they do. Sorry, I'm telling you wrong. So you can see here, I rout a bunch of his cavalry. He has a unit of archers up on the hill that I'm going to have to take care of, and some urban cohorts here that rout. Don't you just love this? I'm sorry, I don't have anything against my opponent, I'm not trying to gloat, but I just love seeing urban cohorts get owned and trampled and smashed and killed. Because even though I have to use them sometimes, I really don't like them. They're so historically inaccurate. So in any case, I'm going to run my cavalry up the hill and silence those archers. And my opponent has some cavalry that has come back into the fight. Surprisingly, if I were them, I would have hightailed it all the way back to Rome. So as you can see, my army is mostly intact. I still have almost all of my missile troops. And let's take a look at this beautiful sight over here. Look at all those Roman bodies. Not very many white bodies there, mostly the red Julii. That's the way things were supposed to be. In any case, can we all imagine what the world would be like had Carthage denied Rome its power in the Mediterranean? Who knows what would have happened. It happened here in this battle, but it didn't happen in real life. But that's okay. Once history's happened, you usually don't want to change it. So he's bringing his horses in for a last glory charge to try and redeem themselves from their defeat. And here they come. They look proud, they act proud, but they are broken. They no longer have the will to fight. And although they will stand for a moment, they will be crushed ultimately. And again, they run in defeat.
The enemy like
so I really enjoyed this battle. It gave me an opportunity to encircle urban cohorts like I've always wanted to. And yeah, anyway, it was fun. My opponent was Schizo. He was very polite. Nice opponent. And like I said, even though I was enjoying this battle, I'm not gloating over him. He just made a couple of mistakes there that ended up becoming big. So I'm not trying to say that he's a bad player. So as you can see, that was a heroic victory for me. I had 1,297 kills, while my opponent Schizo had 504 kills. Good game.